to another rarity event. That's what it's called. These personal development seminars focusing on relationships and wealth and everything in between. Woke up early this morning on a Saturday, sacrificing my sleep to learn something new and to keep growing. This morning has got me thinking about sacrifice. I'd say that might be the theme of today's episode, sacrifice. You know, I was up very late last night and you know, up early this morning on a Saturday morning, one of my, few mornings, probably just like you, to get some rest. And even though I had to wake up early and I had a late night last night, I still wanted to be able to go to this event today. And it gets me thinking of, why do people end up, sacrificing or causing themselves to be uncomfortable for, something else? Well, in my case, the reason why, I wanted to put myself in that uncomfortable position is because there's something that deep down inside I really want, and that is to grow as a person, to always be doing better, to always be challenging myself, to always push myself. I'd say this is no different from meeting and attracting women. You have to put yourself through some really difficult times to be able to go after and get what you want. You do have to go and get a lot of rejections from girls. You do have to run the risk of embarrassment, and you have to put yourself in a very uncomfortable situation many times to still be able to go and get what you want. I know that what you crave in your life is dating probably a beautiful woman, and I don't blame you. A lot of guys want that, but a lot of guys don't sacrifice. They don't take the work that's needed to be able to go and get that. Anything that you're gonna want out of life is gonna be hard, it's gonna be tough. And I say that from a guy I've experienced 32 years on this earth, and I can tell you anything that I've ever wanted that was worth anything was hard work. A lot of work. So today I ask you, what are you sacrificing? What is it that you are putting aside to be able to get what it is that you desire? Right now I'm with Chris Wise, and he had some really interesting things to say about sacrifice.
When I hear the word sacrifice, it doesn't feel good to me. It's like I have to give up something that I love, and it's almost like I'm being mean to myself so that I can get something greater. As I've been working on my diet, I have chosen not to eat certain foods. And it has felt, but it has come from a place of, I am doing this, I'm choosing this out of being kind and loving towards myself. So when I have chosen not to go to McDonald's or eat pizza or eat all these things that I love, it's done from a place because I know that if I do those things, it's not actually really getting me to where I want to go. And in those moments where it's like so hard, because there's been a transition period of actually several years where I would emotionally eat at night, or certain circumstances would trigger emotionally eating, as opposed to okay, I'm gonna not do it, I'm gonna make it happen, I'm gonna sacrifice, I'm gonna give it up. See, that's one energy, and I feel like that's the old masculine paradigm of being so hard on yourself and sacrificing and driving forward and extreme discipline. Now the place out of which I am now in the best shape I've ever been in my life is done from a place of, you know what, I feel this, I want this food so bad, and I'm gonna surrender right now into this moment. I'm gonna feel all that there is to feel. I'm gonna feel that craving, I'm gonna feel that desire. Thank you. As I allow that surrender to take place, and when I've done this in the moments where that craving has come up, what's happened is that desire, that drive, that craving disappears. So my relationship with sacrifice is over. I don't feel like I sacrifice things in life anymore. And I feel like as you, as one, so deeply begins to embrace and being loving and kind kind towards yourself, you will find that you can create your life from a completely new place where sacrifice is no longer necessary, and what is left is a place of surrender, where you can so deeply surrender into life and into love, and out of that place, take action and create the life of your dreams.
All right, so I'm in a lift right now, and I'm in one of those lift lines where, you know, you share the ride somewhere. And what's hilarious is I'm about to, it says on the app, I'm about to pick up, or we're about to pick up, this guy named James, who I met yesterday at the Rarity event. So just so random. We'll see what happens when he comes in. He's gonna be like, "What are you doing here?" All right, let's see his reaction here. Hey, buddy.
What's going on?
What's going on?
How are you?
Hey.
Where are you headed?
I'm headed to the farmer's market.
We're going to Tatsu Ramen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. I saw your picture in here, and I'm like, James. I'm like, oh my God, that's James.
No way.
What's up, man?
What's going on? I was telling Alvin about the, because I know him through Fearless, how I met Chris too.
Oh, cool.
So I was telling him about that money game that we played.
Yeah,
that was just completely like, threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
Jim had his mind blown yesterday, apparently.
Yeah, it was a cool game, wasn't it?
I was
What are you guys doing now? You guys are going to get some ramen?
Ramen, yep.
Hello. Hi, what's up? All right, text me. Bye. All right, so where was I? I was at this event yesterday, and it was all about wealth and how to look at money in a different way, and it was really cool. I mean, it was interesting to have a different perspective on money. One of the big questions that they asked was, what does money mean to you? What does it represent to you? And so there was answers there talking about, well, money represents freedom. Money represents being able to do what you want to do. Money represents being able to show value in the world, right? If you want something, you're going to give money because it's an exchange of value, all different things like that. But I want to stick more with the topic of sacrifice, you know? So I interviewed a guy who puts on the event, and he had his perspective on sacrifice. Earlier when I was driving there, I had my perspective on sacrifice, and there's definitely a lot of different meanings behind what that is. But you know, how I think it relates to you in terms of your journey to meeting and attracting the woman that you want, and even taking it further. You know, I think sacrifice is something to be looked at in terms of working hard, doing some things that you might not necessarily think you'd be doing to be able to get the result that you want. You know, one thing that I really preach on this channel is the idea of going out and talking to a lot of strangers and a lot of people and a lot of girls, right? I think that that is one of the best ways to expose yourself to the fears that you might have with approaching girls, and also get you better at the skill of communicating and socializing and being able to attract girls. And so I think sacrifice is related to that sense, because you're really sacrificing your time, and you're sacrificing the notion of what it might look for normal people to do the normal dating process, which might be apps or online dating or meeting someone through a friend or family. So I'm asking you to take a new perspective, a mind shift, and to maybe sacrifice some of those old beliefs and those old mindsets to get you to the next level. And that next level is you being able to go up and purposefully attract the type of woman that you want. And I believe in order to do that, it's going to take the sacrifice and you going out there and putting the work in. What I want to do is I want to help you with this. So if you look in the description below, I offer a free video. It's like a little mini course on conversation. It's called Chick Crack. And what that is a video that's going to be teaching you all the different conversation topics that women love to talk about. And that's going to help you that is going to help you be able to go up and start conversations and continue conversations with the women that you meet. So go ahead, get that in the description below. I want you to check that out, and I want you again to think this week about the notion, the idea, and the concept of sacrifice. Not only sacrificing things in your life, but sacrificing, like I said, old mindsets. Let's see where that takes you.
For me, for sacrifice, for bettering my life, I had to sacrifice the bad things that were bringing me down in life, like hard drugs, for sure, that was one, and alcohol. And from then on, my life is, for surrendering that, my life has gotten way better.
So you sacrifice drugs and alcohol for something?
Yeah, for a better way of life, better way of living, happiness, and getting along with other people, and just moving forward. And, still more things to sacrifice in my life that are, you know, I'm being so lazy. But no, for me it was the drugs and alcohol that bettered my life, sacrificing that, give my will over to God. My life just keeps getting better that I'm 8 years off the hard drugs, and many years off being drunk off alcohol, so I've come a long way, so.